swag of a prize fighter. The antithesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never pose. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
The last topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is our prediction for the big fight. Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. Anthony Joshua making his return to the ring since his 2 defeats to Alexander Usyk. Jermaine Franklin making his return to the ring since his controversial L he lost in the decision to Dillian the Body Snatcher White. Ned the TBE. Who you got in this fight?
Man, listen, let's go. You know I'm going with my man AJ by knockout, probably 8th round, 9th. And it's going to be easy. Everybody's talking about AJ's looking slim. AJ's not looking like himself. AJ's depressed. AJ's broken. AJ's this, AJ's that. Now, AJ, I said this last week. AJ's in the hyperbolic chamber. He's been training. He's focused. He's locked in. He got his power. He's just been slimming down. He's just been maintaining his power to his body capacity. And he's not going to gas out. G, fix your face. I'm tired of you working on every segment like it's funny. Ain't nothing funny.
All right, I'm sorry.
G, put money on it.
I already told you, man. I already told you I'm down.
I say that.
I said, remember, hey, I said, yo, if I win, you give me 200. If I lose, I give you 100. And you said, cool.
Cool. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'll make it halfway back. And I'm pretty sure AJ gonna win. So
I appreciate it, Ned.
I'm pretty sure AJ's gonna win. I'll take it because
why you looking like that, yo?
Fans, audience, boxing fans.
I understand being confident, but this is the heavyweight division, dog.
Yes. I'm saying. G is like G. I'll go all in on something, and then when he win, you want to double up. He's gonna be like, hey, you got to take it back in inches and miles, and then you can't take it back in miles. You got to take it back in inches and centimeters with him. So if it's 100 back, I'll take it.
No, Paul.
Talking about, yo,
You gotta take it back with inches or centimeters with him.
Pause.
Oh, God.
Sound crazy. But he's stingy with.
I think you meant to say
doubling up.
But go ahead.
He's stingy with doubling up, and I'm more than confident AJ's gonna come in next weekend and handle his business, because that's what AJ gonna do. AJ's been training. AJ's been focused. He's been on social media. He's been away, and you see pictures of him, and you want to be like, all right, what's AJ doing? AJ's doing what he need to do. AJ loves boxing. AJ. If you ask AJ what saved his life, he's gonna tell you boxing, because he was a madman he was a madman Roman mod in the UK. So I'm trying to do my accent, but it's going crazy. But I feel AJ is gonna come out and he's gonna show you who he really is, and it's gonna be something special. Just like, what is it? Helenius and Wilder, we was like, is Wilder still have it? AJ's gonna show you still got it. And AJ's gonna come in and he's gonna box, and he's gonna show you got the power, and he's gonna show you got the elusiveness, and he's gonna show you could go 12 rounds. That's what AJ's been trying to prove to people. He could box 12 rounds. You don't need to be the big muscle guy no more. He's not the bodybuilder no more that we use, but he's not the AJ old, but he's still the AJ we know. And he's gonna box, he's gonna knock heads off, and he's gonna knock blocks. And G, fix your face. Because if you're really feeling like that, double up.
Double up, then.
Double up
like that, G. Double up. You know what I'm saying?
Can I go now? Or
yes, go
ahead. More foolishness. All right. Yo, Ned. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. This is an equation right here. You know what I mean? AJ minus PEDs equals an L. You know what I mean? So that's why I got Franklin. AJ's looking mighty skinny lately, and his confidence these past couple of fights is already diminished. So I don't know, man. I've been seeing a lot of these workout videos from Franklin. Like, he's taking this fight real serious, and I just think the AJ that's gonna show up for this fight is gonna be the AJ that fought Ruiz in the rematch, which is cool. But I think Franklin is not like a Ruiz where he's flat-footed. He's gonna bring that pressure to AJ, and I don't know if AJ's chin is ready for that work. So I'm actually going with Jermaine Franklin for this one. You know what I'm saying?
The Dolphin?
Yeah.
About time G stand on something he says off camera. About time.
What you mean about time, man? Listen, I'm the one who then I picked Caleb Benavidez against Plant.
Nah, that's when you being G. I'm saying when G's being G. You never stand on your square, yo. You never be like, I back this fighter, but on camera you be like, oh, it's the other fighter. I go with the actual fighter, but when you know who you want, you never go after.
Hey
So,
man, I told you, man, this is the year of home improvement. So just have my 200 after this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just have my 200, bro. You know what I mean?
G 2023. G's going with Jermaine Franklin. All right. Look, there's a lot of uncertainty with Anthony Joshua, but I think this week, actually the last 2 weeks, have served to remind Anthony Joshua that he is that dude. Like, look at the pay-per-view numbers. Anthony Joshua's all over the top 10 pay-per-view fights in the UK. He's a pay-per-view star. That can't be debated. Look at what Saudi Arabia offered Anthony Joshua to fight there. And look at what they offered Fury. Fury went there thinking he was going to get the Joshua deal, and Saudi Arabia said peace. He approached Usyk trying to get the Anthony Joshua deal, and Usyk said peace. What you're starting to see is Anthony Joshua is really that dude. And action speaks louder than words. The action is people were willing to pay AJ. They're not even entertaining Fury with his madness. So one guy is big in his mind, and the other guy is actually really big. And I think that's one thing he's starting to see. The other thing I think Anthony Joshua is starting to realize is, people clowned him for losing to Usyk. People clowned him for losing to Andy Ruiz. But to this day, Deontay Wilder still hasn't fought Andy Ruiz. When Wilder was supposed to fight Andy Ruiz, things happened and he wanted to get his money on time. And now that fight seems to be in shambles. I don't think that fight's happening anymore. But Wilder Ruiz at one point was supposed to happen. Wilder still hasn't fought Ruiz. So I still don't know if Deontay Wilder can beat Andy Ruiz. With that being said, I still don't know if Tyson Fury can beat Andy Ruiz. I mean, granted, I believe Tyson Fury would beat Andy Ruiz, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Like, I can't just give him the victory, right? But I think Tyson Fury would beat Andy Ruiz. But the reality is he hasn't fought him yet, still to this day. Now, Anthony Joshua lost twice to Alexander Usyk, and everybody was, making fun of him, saying he lost to the little guy, this and that. But we just seen the biggest, baddest fighting man in the heavyweight division duck Usyk. And Anthony Joshua walked in the ring with that man twice and gave him a hell of a fight, especially in the second bout. So if I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm looking at myself a little bit differently. Anthony Joshua is the man who stepped in the ring and fought badass after badass. He's the one who stepped in the ring and fought high levels of opposition. You can downplay it, but he fought these guys when they were at their best. People talk about the Charles Martin victory and they try to poo-poo it. But look at what Charles Martin did to Luis Ortiz. When he got in there with Luis Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz was able to get by him. And then Luis Ortiz went in there with Ruiz and gave Ruiz a tough fight. Right? People talk trash about his resume, but when you look at it, people talk trash about him and Povetkin. But look at what Povetkin did when he got in there with Dillian. Right? So I'm saying you can sit around and you can try to knock Anthony Joshua, but the reality is he's been the guy in the division making the tough fights. He's the guy who revitalized the division. You don't believe me? Check the pay-per-view numbers. And even Fury and Deontay Wilder, they can pull out decent numbers with each other, but when they fight other opponents, they can't do nothing. And by the third fight, people were sick of it. What third fight did with Fury and Wilder, but it did turn out to be a good fight. So I think AJ really needs to look in the mirror and realize, like, yo, I'm really that dude. And now he's going in there to fight Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin, the guy who many people believe actually beat Dillian White. Jermaine Franklin, who is a better fighter today, ranked higher than Derek Ward Chisora. Well, don't quote me on that, because I didn't look it up. But I mean, I would assume. Assuming makes an A out of you. I know that. But he can't be any worse than Derek Ward Chisora. Like I honestly would think he's better than Derek Ward Chisora at this stage in his career. Go ahead, G.
Hold on. So real rap question. Hypothetically, if Franklin does beat AJ, should AJ retire? Just saying.
You and I both know it depends on how. First of all, it would depend on how. But even if AJ takes an L, I do think not necessarily retirement for ever, but taking some time off to really evaluate is boxing what he wants to continue to do with his life if Jermaine Franklin gets him. I think that was what Robert Helenius was to Deontay Wilder, right? It was, do you really still want to do this? Do you still got love for this? Let's get you in the camp. Let's get you in there with a guy who might push you a little bit. But if you're still the Deontay Wilder we know, you get him out of there. And I think this is what it is with Anthony Joshua. It's like, okay, we got you in there with a guy who can push you a little bit, who, gonna give you some work. But if you're the Anthony Joshua that we all know and love, you get this guy out of there. And so I think Anthony Joshua has a prime opponent in front of him who's a live dog. So I'm not laughing at G for picking Jermaine Franklin, because Jermaine Franklin is a good fighter. He proved it against Dillian White, and he's in really good shape too. So people talking about people in shape. Jermaine Franklin is taking this fight very seriously. So if AJ, from what I'm seeing, if AJ beats Jermaine Franklin, he would have beaten a better version of Jermaine Franklin than Dillian White got. And that still was pretty good Jermaine Franklin.
Fact.
And even Fury said, and you can pull this quote up for all of you, he said he sparred Jermaine Franklin, and Jermaine Franklin is a damn good fighter, but he needs to work on his fitness, and he needs to take his fitness more seriously, and he can do some damage. That's a quote from Fury. You can look it up. I paraphrased it, but that's what Fury said about Jermaine Franklin. So Jermaine Franklin's no slouch. I know people gonna come at G with the razor blades and lemon juice, but Jermaine Franklin can fight. So
I'll see them next week. I'll see all of my
But I am sticking with Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony Joshua has found the love again. He's found the hunger again. I think he's starting to realize what he means to the heavyweight division. And if he can spark out Jermaine Franklin, he may even generate interest in a fight between him and Tyson Fury. And if Tyson Fury is actually willing to take this fight, assuming he doesn't, make any funny business. Again, I think Anthony Joshua is the type of opponent that Tyson Fury likes. I think Tyson Fury's comfortable with his height, his power. Joshua has good boxing ability, but I think Fury feels like it's nothing he can't handle. So I feel like Tyson Fury will be more willing to make a fight with Anthony Joshua than Usyk, based on what I've seen. So we'll wait and see. But I got Anthony Joshua. I'm going to say stoppage in the 5th round.
Woo! Man, y'all really what?
Hey man, you got your pick. I got mine. It's G 2023, right?
Hey, it's only right. G 2023. Just
hey, so you should
bring my additional $200 next weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. So
if that happens, man, this is Hey, the roof on the shed's coming sooner than you thought. All right, listen.
Oh man.
Thank you for rocking with us. Again, if you watch us or if you watched a few videos, you might as well hit the subscribe button. All it's going to do is just going to help the channel. You can at least hit the like button too. It's going to help get the video out to more people. And remember, you can listen to our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm Caden. That's Ned, the TBE. And that is Conspira G. But on this day, he's the victorious GEE. And it is G 2023. Until next week.
That's right.
We are the Boxing Bros.
Peace.